Hey everyone, it's EpilepsyBlogger. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I was checking my email and I got a really sweet email from Sarah in Nevada, and she has some questions about the VNS. She is thinking about getting the VNS, and I agreed to upload some videos for her answering those questions. I'm going to do each question one at a time in a separate video if you guys don't mind, because you know me, and I love to talk, and they're very in-depth questions, or at least they're in-depth answers that I would like to give her, because it is a big step. Any sort of treatment is a big step, and it should be looked at as a big step, so I really want to help her out. So her first question is, EpilepsyBlogger, what was it like when you were making the decision to get the VNS implant? Was it scary? What was going through your head? So this is what was going through my head. And, you know what, to be honest, let me tell you something. It was an easy decision, but it was also a hard decision in other ways. It was easy in the sense that, my other options were much worse. I was planning at the time to get, a little more than a fourth of my brain taken out. And, for me, that was scary. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, I was undergoing a lot of different testing. I'm sure, I don't know if a lot of people have done this, but I don't know if you guys have heard of the WADA test. I'll put a link, if I can find one, in the description about what it is, but basically, they, with no painkillers whatsoever. Well, I've heard of some people getting locals when they do this, but I didn't get one. What they do is they lay you down on a table, and you're underneath basically like a, almost like a CT scan that's always going, or like an x-ray type thing that's always going and going and going, and there's screens like all around you, and they lay you down, and they kind of, this is weird, they like open your legs, and they cut your groin open, and there's a artery that goes, I forget the name of the artery, but there's an artery that goes all the way from your groin up to, goes up through here, up to, like your brain stem, and, what they do is they stick a catheter inside. It hurts quite a lot, but I can tell you, ever since I got that procedure done, I am a tough cookie, and you could probably cut my arm open and I wouldn't know it, but they stick a catheter inside, and they, give you a medication, and I forget the name, and I used to know it, but I'm so sorry I forgot, and they put one half of your brain to sleep at a time, and they see how you can function without the other half. And for me, all those tests, it was awful, but for me, all those tests were a pain in the butt, because they hurt, they were hurting, they were getting more, I was getting more tired, I was getting more sensitive to pain at the time, I was tired of all the testing, I was ready to just give up. I know there was, at the time, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not one to sugarcoat things, I was getting ready to just kind of give up on life at that time, because my seizures were so severe that, I'd almost died I think at the time I'd almost died 3 times, and I was ready to give up, and I said, you know what, I'm tired of this, I don't want to do this anymore, and I would sleep all day, and I would cry, whenever I was awake, I would cry all the time, and it was a really emotional thing to go through. I'm about to cry right now, and I didn't have anywhere to turn, and the thought of losing that much of my brain was very, really scary, and I was somewhat ready to do it, and I was meeting with the surgeon, and he started to tell me about the process, and he mentioned to me that there were certain things that I was going to lose, and among those things, he said, well, you know, you're still going to be able to function because you are highly functionable in both sides of your brain, but you're probably going to lose things like your artistic abilities, and maybe reading and writing, and it kind of depends. It was one of those things, you're kind of gambling with your body, and when he said that I would lose my artistic abilities, I wanted to cry, because art is my life. it's my passion and I love it. And when he said art, I just immediately broke down and started crying. And I don't know if you guys have seen my art. I have a little bit of it on my wall. There's one piece you probably can't see very well. There's several in my room right now, but it's something that I love, and the thought of giving it up was it was awful. And I said, what are my other options? There's got to be more. And he said, you have no other options. And he kind of paused for a second, and he said, well, there is the VNS. And I was pissed at the end of the conversation because I thought, wow, I could have already made this choice without doing all that testing. But I was relieved that there was another option, and he told me, and it seemed so simple that I said, I want it. I just told him right then and there. I said, I want it, sign me up, book me up, and I'm gonna get it done. And he said, well, I want you to look at the video. He gave me a video from Cyberonics, which is who makes the VNS devices, and he sent me home, and he said, look at the video, watch it, and call me if you want to do it. And I looked at the video, and halfway through the video I just called and said I want to do it. I said, I don't care, I just want to do it. And I will tell you, at the time I was desperate for a cure, and my meds weren't working. I think I was on Keppra, or no, I think I was on Keppra. Well, I was on several medications. I was being switched constantly. Like, I think every month I was on a different one. I know for sure that I was on, no, it was Depakote. I was on Depakote and Trileptal. I've been on Trileptal. That's the one medication that always stays, because it always works. That's the only one that works of that type. And I was on Trileptal, and I was on Depakote, and occasionally on Xanax, because the Depakote caused me very severe anxiety attacks. And the reason why I was looking into surgery and other options was simply because in the mornings I would take my medicine, and I would immediately break. I'm gonna cry. I'm so sorry, you guys. I would take my medicine in the morning and get ready for school, just like every other child gets ready for school in the morning, and I would take my medication and I would fall down on the floor because I couldn't walk and I couldn't see. I would literally lose vision and I wouldn't be able to walk, and I would have to be carried to my bed by my dad. And at 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, that's not something you want to be going through. And I couldn't even get to school, and sometimes I would make the mistake and I would forget, and I would take my meds with me and maybe take it on the bus, and I would try to drink as much water as I could to make it like dissolve faster or something. And by the time I was getting off the bus, my sister, and it's the most embarrassing thing in the world, you know, my sister's a freshman and she had to walk me into school, and I looked like a complete idiot. In my perspective at the time, I looked like an idiot just being walked into school, and I couldn't stand up, and people thought there was rumors going around that I was on illegal drugs, and people said some awful things about me, and I was desperate to find something else to help me. And this would happen every time I took that medication, and even when they switched my meds, it would still happen. And I could never find a combination that worked, and I said, sign me up. And so in that sense, it was a very easy decision for me to make to get the VNS device implanted, and it was almost like a godsend. And I remember that night, I remember just turning off the lights in my room and going to the corner of my room and just praying out loud and talking to the Lord and saying thank you for this other option, because the thought of losing my abilities to paint and express myself made me want to cry. I couldn't even imagine losing those things, and I'll put a couple pictures of my artwork at the end of this video so you can see, I don't know, maybe you can get into my head and see why I love what I do so much. And so Sarah, I will tell you, it was an easy choice for me. The only difficult thing was the thought of being on anesthesia, because it was new to me, but it was easy. It's one of the safest procedures for epilepsy, and I can tell you that because I know the surgeon actually told me myself. So confidently, I can tell you that it's one of, excuse me, my light went out, it's one of the safest procedures you can get done, so you really have nothing to worry about, and the surgeons who do that are very experienced because they are neurosurgeons, and neurosurgeons are the ones who implant the VNS usually, but believe me, you're not going to get anyone who isn't familiar with doing the procedure. And you can always ask, and you can say, how many of these have you implanted, and if you don't feel comfortable, you can ask for another surgeon. So if that's what you're scared about, you know, don't worry. And that's what was going through my head, and I will go down the list of your questions because I know you have so many, and I'll make a separate video for each one. And I apologize for crying, but it's a very intimate topic, and it meant a lot to me. But thank you so much for the email, Sarah, and I hope you comment on the video. It's okay if you don't. I know it's a little embarrassing to be in public, but I won't say your last name or anything. But I hope you see this video, and I hope that even though some of the things may scare you, I hope that you make the right choice for yourself, and be sure to put yourself first, because remember, it's your body, and maybe if someone's pushing you to do this, you don't have to do it. It's up to you. It's up to you what choice you make, and you need to put yourself first. Always put yourself first, because remember, it's your body. It's going to be your scars. This is mine. This is one of them. It's very little now. It used to be this big. And then, sorry, wrong side. And then I have one here that's quite long. You can't see it very well on camera, but it's very big. They're going to be your scars. So please think about it. Think about it for a while. Give yourself a while. I think I didn't give myself enough time to think about it. I'm not saying I would have changed my mind, but I think I should have given myself more time. But that's all for this video, and I will make another one for your next questions. God bless you and give you guys the best of health, whoever's watching. Bye.